with our members as well. So Justin Rogers, I'm going to ask that you take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction. So once again, I am Justin Rogers. I'm with Victory Park SEO. And can you guys see my screen share? If not, I can click another button. Let's see here. Share. All right, so it should be up.
We're seeing it, David.
Okay, so like Lisa said, we're just going to go over, I've got 10 things that I think that anyone can do without being an expert in SEO, search engine optimization, and just for a little backstory on search engine optimization. It's basically designing and creating content on your website on the front end and back end to make it as easy as possible for search engines to say, hey, someone searched something and I know the perfect person to send them to, and to get you to populate on that page 1, rank 1 or 2 on Google or any other search engine that you're trying to utilize. So the first thing I say for everyone is do a quick audit of your site. If you guys want me to do it, I can do that for free for you guys, no big deal, just on the page load speed. You need to remove everything that is slowing your site down. As you can see on this slide, 40% of people leave after a 3-second load time. A funny little bit about this is I forget who it is, I think it was MIT did a study on things that Americans hate, and they actually hate waiting on pages and software to load more than they hate public speaking. So that goes a long way on saying how much they actually hate it. So you lose about 40% of people. They click on your link, they're waiting for your website to load. It takes around 3 seconds. You've already lost 40% of the traffic headed to your site. Each second after that is another 7%. So you realize you can lose basically all your traffic really quickly if you have things like plugins. If you're using WordPress, for instance, there are a lot of people say, hey, I had someone build the site, and then I had someone else add some content, and then I had someone else do something else for me, you know, give it a fresh update or something. So you have 3 or 4 people work on your site. They all have unique plugins that they love to work with. And so you've probably got 20 or 30 plugins, and you're really only using maybe 5 or 6. Go ahead, deactivate all those plugins. It'll help your page load speed. Another thing is they'll say, hey, I hired this graphic designer and he did amazing work and it's this beautiful image and I've got 400 of them. I paid for 400 of them. By golly, I'm going to put them all on my site. While that is great, I'm glad that you got some great graphics and images. You need to make for sure that those are compressed. The best way that I can say this is, imagine you were putting a play on and you had someone build out huge, beautiful sets, but you've got to move it around, right? It's going to take trailers of space to move those sets around, versus you can compress an image into one flat file. It's a lot smaller, and it's like having just a backdrop on a play. It's going to increase your site speed drastically. That's the number one thing that I can say on speed is I see a lot of websites with really heavy images. And so if you can just go to, there's free software if you don't know how to do it on your own. You can search like tinypng.com and it will compress those files for you for free. They look exactly the same. No one will ever tell the difference. It's not going to hurt your image quality too much, if at all. So that's something that you can do on speeding up your site, because once again, it doesn't matter if you've got a Garden of Eden behind that load page speed. If you're taking 10 seconds to load, you're not going to get anybody to see it. So the next thing that we're going to work on is linking strategies. So when we talk about search engine optimization, a lot of it, like Lisa said, is content is king. You want to have phenomenal content on your website. So when people come there, they stick around, they purchase your product, they read, they're on page longer, because the longer you can keep someone on your site, the better chances are that they're going to purchase your product or service. A linking strategy is a great way to get extra authority to your site. I like to say something like this. Let's say that you're selling John Deere tractors and you are writing a little content piece about this new tractor attachment that's come out, and you are getting your information from johndeere.com. Johndeere.com doesn't sell tractors. You have to purchase them through an authorized dealer. So a great link, obviously you're not going to link to a direct competitor, but a great link would be johndeere.com, because, hey, wonderful, I came to your site, I saw a little information about what I was wondering, I need more information. I'll go to the big boy, johndeere.com to get the more information, and then I can come back to your site to contact you to purchase a product or service. So linking strategies are great because it's just linking your site to someone else who has great authority, and Google loves to see a good link. The next thing we can talk about is writing for humans. So most people think on search engine optimization, hey, I've heard of keywords and I need to just stuff as many keywords as I can in a great content piece that I'm writing for my website. That definitely did work in the past. If you owned a hotel in Dallas, you could basically just put Dallas Hotel, Dallas Hotel, Dallas Hotel, and you were going to get a lot of traffic and rank pretty high. Google has gotten a lot more sophisticated in the past 5 years probably, and they really want people to be judged on their websites based off of user behavior. So if someone comes in and they say, yeah, you ranked wonderful, page one, and it's just Dallas Hotel, and they immediately bounce out. Google can see that, they track that. You're not Google's client, their customer is, AKA someone who's doing the searching, and they're gonna reward people who treat their customers well. So you need to write content that is actually answering questions that you might, if you're selling insurance and you're writing about car insurance, please write informative content that someone would actually want to read. I always tell everybody, I said, whatever you're doing, you're an expert compared to the layman, so feel confident in writing things that matter. You're probably gonna get 100 questions a week just going about your daily life through business. I say, put it on your phone, get a little notepad on your desk, and say, hey, someone asked me about antique car insurance this week. Well, if you've had 7 people ask you that this month, that might be a great content piece to write about. So if someone asks you again, you can say, absolutely, I'm missing your link to my website, let's walk through it. One, it makes you seem a lot more professional, it seems like an authority, and it's great for search engine optimization. So let's go on to the next one, backlinks. So we talked about linking strategies, linking away from your website. Google doesn't punish you really at all if people are coming back to your website. If they say, hey, that's wonderful, I went to johndeere.com, I found more information, and I came back, and I did some more things on your site, purchased a product or whatever. Backlinks are the opposite of that. You want reputable sites like johndeere.com to link back to your website. So a good example of this would be like if you had a business in Dallas and you were on the Chamber's website and they linked your website, that's a backlink. People go to the Chamber website, it's reputable, it's an authority, a lot of people go there, they get more traffic maybe than your website, that's gonna help you. If you were highlighted by a local news media outlet like the Dallas Voice, they put your link on their website, once again, that increases your SEO score, and it really helps. So if you can get, and this ties in as well to social media, which David will speak to, linking your content, your pages on other platforms, even social media, can really help this as well. So the more backlinks, the better. It could be Yelp, it could be Google My Business. There's a million ways to get backlinks, but generally the bigger, the more established, the more traffic the website, the more that's gonna help you. Moving on, tracking. So I see this all the time. I've got clients who say, excuse me, they'll say, hey, I've been doing this SEO strategy, I've been doing this social media, I've been crushing it every way I know how, I've been consistent, I've been putting content pieces out every week, I've compressed my images, I'm doing all this stuff, and I say, great, like what kind of return are you getting? Are you getting, like, how much has your traffic increased? How much has sales increased? Have more people contacted you? And they're like, oh, I really have no clue. Google Analytics is a free software that plugs in to your website. It's very easy to do. If you've done it once, you can probably do it again in 3 minutes. Your first time, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and that's including you watching a 5-minute video on YouTube how to do it. It's very easy, and it gives you more data than you would ever need in a lifetime. Google Search Console is also pretty good, but Google Analytics is your #1 go-to. Data, just like content, is king and queen in today's world. You could have something that you love doing, for instance. Say you love doing videos on your website and sharing them to social media. And this is your passion, you think you're good at it, you get lots of traffic, but you're getting no sales. And then you have something else like, hey, I don't like doing videos, I love doing videos, but I don't like doing just pictures. But you're doing pictures on social media and you've got great content about how you create these images and you're getting tons of traffic, tons of sales. I mean, not tons of sales, but let's say 3 sales a month or something out of it. And you got to realize if you have the data, you can say, hey, I put in all this time, energy, effort, money into one avenue that maybe isn't rewarding me. And there's another avenue that I'm barely doing anything. and it really is rewarding. Or maybe you're hitting the right thing the first time around, but the data will prove to you versus just, hey, I've got a hunch that what I'm doing is working. So that'll allow you to track users, conversions, anything and everything you want. Google Analytics has what you need when it comes to data. The next thing I want to talk about is meta descriptions. This is something very small. A meta description is, let's say you're searching for pizza near me on Google, and you type that in, you press enter, a search engine page results page will pop up. I'll have a ton of websites, we've all seen it. And then below each link, there's a little bitty paragraph, a little bitty blurb. That's a meta description. These need to be unique to every single page of your website. They need to be interesting. They've got to hook whoever's reading these, and they've got to be keyword driven. So for instance, I see a lot of people will either not have a meta description or they'll have the same one on every page of their website. They need to be unique because when someone is searching for Pizza Hut's contact information because they hate ordering online and they want to call someone, if they have their meta description as their homepage of like Pizza Hut, order now, blah, 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 the same everything, versus, here's our phone number, here's our email address, or click here to find our phone number, email address, contact information, address. It's two completely different ball games. And once again, you have to realize that Google is going to reward people that get clicks. So you having the right information in your meta descriptions, and this is generally found on like when you go to edit a page on the back end of your website. If you just scroll down, generally there's an option at the very bottom. If you're on WordPress or Squarespace or anything like that, it'll just say meta description. So for Pizza Hut, you want to be unique to each page. You've got to say like free shipping, free delivery, try our new pineapple jalapeno pizza. And it's got to be keyword driven, which I believe Dave is going to talk about how to find some great keywords later on. But just make sure that you have those meta descriptions because that's something that is so easy to do. You want to keep it under 160 characters so anybody can do it in no time at all. And it's just basically a little roadmap of like what this page is about. And I cannot stress enough how important something as small as that can be. So the next thing we're going to do is URLs have to be readable. So if you can see the example on the slide, www.companyx.com/article/random number. What does this tell your customer? What does this tell your search engine? You have to pretend that your search engine is basically a baby and you've got to spoon feed them. This is what this page is about, just like your client needs the same service. You would literally have to there's no way you can mess this up. We are pizzahut.com/article/Super Bowl Buffalo BBQ wings. This tells the search engine exactly what the page is about. This tells your client exactly what the page is about. And most importantly, it keeps it super simple. So anybody just scrolling on a search engine could say, yes, that's exactly what I want. This is something that's very easy. Once again, if you're on WordPress, you can go to your Pages tab and you can rename every single thing. And then the fewer the words, the better. I like to say 2 to 3. So you don't want pizza.com/the best wings in the world to eat on Super Bowl Sunday with your friends at your house. It's too much. You're trying to keyword stuff. Google isn't going to reward you for it. So just keep it super short, super simple. And another little tip and trick is you want to dash in between each word. So you would do Super Bowl -wings -BBQ or however you're going to do it. But that's just something that's very small, search engine optimization wise, that can give you a little advantage because once again, it's like search engine optimization is you're never going to get to page 1, rank 1 overnight on any keyword that is worth anything, just like you're never going to be a millionaire overnight. It takes a long time, but you add a brick, you add a brick, you add a brick. Before you know it, you have a wall, or a better analogy, I guess, have you eat an elephant, one bite at a time, you'll eventually get there. The next thing is, Dave is going to obviously blow us away on this, but social media, what I can say is, if you're doing all the right things on your website, and you're creating great content, you're doing the right thing SEO-wise, you're getting good traffic, that is something that you want to share with the world, and social media platforms are incredible for that. Currently, Google keeps their algorithms a secret, because if they were public, everybody would just game the system. Currently, there's no evidence showing that you are rewarded directly for sharing something on social media from your website, but you are rewarded when traffic comes from social media to your website because Google says, hey, look, this is getting a lot of traffic. You don't just get arbitrarily extra points because I shared to Twitter. But you do get rewarded when it's great, engaging content and people are coming to read it. So that's what I can say. David's going to tell you a lot more about that, but just know that anything that you are doing well, you should share with the world, and social media is obviously a very free, cost-effective, easy way to get even more SEO growth and traffic to your website, which then translates to more sales. Images have names too. So this came out probably beginning of last year. If you make over $1 million a year as a business, you can be sued if you do not have a website that is ADA compliant. Part of that is having your images described appropriately. So most people, let's say if you're blind or seeing impaired, they have programs and software that can read a wall of text on any website, you know, and they're good to go. The software development is not quite there for images. If someone saw this with a software program that's typically out there right now, they might say that's a coffee cup, or they might say that's Donald Trump because it's got a weird colored top. Who knows? So for an image like this, you would want to describe it. Once again, this is on the back end of your website. When you're adding an image to your web page, you can describe it. And this is good for SEO because, as we know, Google, you know, you do your search results, like the second thing is images. So they put a lot of stock into images as well. You can get some SEO points there. But for this, you would do coffee, you know, disposable coffee cup, black, white label lid. You might see someone who's seeing impaired, might not know those colors, but they probably held a disposable coffee cup and they'll know what it is and you won't get punished for it. And it's much better than saying, click here to buy now. Well, if someone cannot see your website, they don't know what they're purchasing, they don't know what it looks like, they need that description, and it protects you from legal action if you make over $1 million a year. Plus, if you don't make over $1 million a year in your business, hopefully soon you will, but also it helps with SEO, so it's only a benefit to you, and it's very easy. You just describe the image that you're placing on your website. Create and publish consistently. I'm sure David can say a lot about this. Once again, you are an expert in your field. You might not feel like you have a voice or information to share, but to the average, you know, I could take out my own appendix. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but if I had to, I think I could probably do it. Should I still go to a doctor? Absolutely. Yes, anyone can learn about car insurance. Anyone can learn about trust. I could make my own will on LegalZoom.com. Is that the right way to do it? Probably not. Is it probably going to cause, you know, issues down the road for my family after I pass? Probably, because I didn't do it the right way. But you are an expert in your own field compared to the layman. So what I can say is you have a voice, you know the information, you have the knowledge to answer at least very common questions that you get asked weekly, daily, monthly. So creating that content is something that's very important. Generally, I like to say you need to work on about 1,000 words or more to really rank well in Google. The average page on a website has less than 500 words on it. The average rank 1, rank 2 Google link has about 1,000, almost 1,100. So if you want to rank well, you need to have good content in a not huge amount of words, but it needs to be very relevant and it needs not to be fluffed. If you only have 750 words to say, only say those 750. You don't need to be stuffing things. But I think everybody has enough information on their area of expertise in business that they can write 1,000 words. Another thing is publish consistently. Data, I'm sure, can speak to this a million times and more, but I know I do it. If I follow someone on Instagram or Facebook or their website, and they post every Tuesday at 4 p.m., whether I'm even thinking about it or not, I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling my email for that weekly newsletter because I enjoy their content. So if you can create something that people want to read, it doesn't have to be Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece on how to create a helicopter in the, you know, the Renaissance. But what I can say is if it answers a question that a lot of people are asking, you're going to get the results you want. And if you can do that once a week or once every 2 weeks, then I think you're going to see some great results in content or in traffic to your website. I do see that we have a little bit of a chat thing. Are there any statistics or information posting content on your website? This is a great question. So if you are encouraging frontline workers, if you are promoting discounts to nonprofits or that support local nonprofits like Feeding America and things like that, you're going to be rewarded. If you are straight up hawking your wares because of COVID-19 and you are using non-fact-based language, like our lavender essential oil will protect you against COVID-19, you are going to get punished. So I've actually seen a few clients who thought they could take a few liberties with how great their product worked on immune boosting, and they were punished pretty severely for it. So I would say, if you're donating money to a nonprofit or trying to help a frontline worker or anything like that, feel free to blast out as much as you can. If you are not being 100% truthful with what your product can do, all it takes is one person to report you, and you could lose a lot of SEO equity. Let's see here. Yeah, since everybody, including McDonald's, has C19 updates. Yeah, I think it's great. It's another way for engagement, sending out a newsletter, creating a new blog about how you guys are giving back, social media campaigns on it. It's a great way to keep everybody engaged with your platform and your website. And it seems like people can't get enough of it. So it's all anybody's talking about. I would say definitely go for that completely, but just make sure that you're being upfront and honest 100%, because you don't want to be remembered or punished by a search engine for maybe expanding. What's the return? Are people reading all of these? So obviously, I don't have the data for everybody, but people are reading a lot of things, especially related to COVID-19. They've got nothing better to do. They're just sitting at home, and people are really sponges. So it's basically, there's the old soup in a bowl trick. If you put a bowl of soup in front of someone, and they'll eat it all. If you have a bowl of soup in front of someone with a tube hooked up to the bottom, and you keep providing them fresh soup, they'll just keep eating. I think it's like 166% more soup. So if you can create engaging COVID-19 content, people will probably eat as much as you can, as long as you're being upfront and truthful. So yeah. And also, you have to realize that most people won't read everything. Walls of text are pretty intimidating, but if you get people to your site, they'll look around, they'll see a product or service. Now you want soup, of course, Tony. Yeah. But they'll look around, and the longer people are on your site, on your page, on everything, the better. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's my last slide. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I think we've got a few minutes before David takes over. If you need any URLs in specific on anything that I mentioned, I'm happy to email those to you, justin@victoryparkseo.com. I'm happy to do free audits on anybody's sites for free, no big deal about that. But this is a great opportunity, guys. A lot of people I have clients right now that are paying a ton of money for marketing, that it was very traditional and not meant for a pandemic. And I don't see a lot of ROI on it. This is something that you can do for free in your spare time. You're an expert, you have the content baked into your life, and there's really no need not to do it. And even if you stopped right after the pandemic and just picked up where you left off, that SEO equity is going to be built into your website, and it doesn't end when you stop paying for it. It just continues on. So I think it could be good. Is there a legal way to link or backlink? Do you have to get formal permission? So you do not have to get permission to link, like for instance, the johndeere.com, you're selling John Deere tractors, and they have more information than you do. Google also really punishes people for copy pasting content from other sites. It needs to be your own words. So a good way to do it is write a little bit in your own words and link to another site. There's no legal way. You don't have to get permission to link. I could link to the White House's page today, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It is heavily frowned upon if you purchase backlinks in mass quantities. So your website doesn't have a backlink, nothing outside of on a different website linking back to your website. And then the next month you've got 40,000, you're probably going to get punished by Google. But the best way to do it is just to build relationships with other people in your industry and news media outlets and things like that, and get those backlinks organically, because they're going to be worth a lot more versus I sell car insurance and some lady who knits Pokemon put my link on her website and has nothing to do with car insurance. So just finding that in a very natural and organic way and just building the community. And you're going to have to give backlinks to other people for them giving backlinks to you sometimes, and that's okay. That's part of the game. So not everybody has viral content that everybody just wants to link to. So any other questions before I hand it over to David?
Justin, thank you. And I put your email in the chat, but if you'll take your screen down, we'll give David a chance to put his screen up. And if anyone has any questions to put in there,